everybody's doing really well today. So I am here to do the scare tag, which has been around for some time now. I just haven't had a chance to get into it. But today while chatting to you, I'll be coloring in the Coloring Heaven Fairy Story Special. If you watched my last video, which was the upcoming or new releases video, you saw that I already started in here. And I'm just going to continue working on it. So this is as far as I got. I got her dress. And now I am coloring the roses. This is obviously Beauty and the Beast. And for the roses, I'm currently using two Prismacolors. This is Crimson Red. And then I don't know what this one is because it's been very well loved. And the name has been erased. But yeah, I will leave all the information about the tag down below, like who it was created by, because I cannot recall the names. And then also the questions. I actually had kind of a hard time finding the questions. Sometimes people don't list the questions when they do the video. And I watched a handful of these videos, so it's not like I was trying to cheat, and not watch somebody's video. It's just like I don't remember all of the questions, and I just never wrote them down. But anyways, I was able to find the questions, which is lovely. And yeah, let's hop on in because there is a good amount of questions in this tag. So the first question is, what weapon would you choose if you're living in The Walking Dead? First of all, I could not get through that show, which has got a little too bloody and gory for me. I think I definitely made it through the first season. I think I made it partially into the second season. And yes, I know I missed out on a lot because there's obviously many, many more seasons. And then there's also like Fear of the Walking Dead. But anyways, if I was in The Walking Dead, I definitely don't want like a gun because you're going to run out of bullets, right? So that wouldn't be that helpful. I also would not want a bow and arrow because A, I don't know how to use it. And then B, also like what happens if you use up all of the arrows? You always have to go and retreat them. So my theory or my approach to this is I would want something that doesn't run out, But I also would want something like longer so I didn't have to be as close to the zombies. So I was thinking maybe a shovel. I don't know if that's like the Ukrainian in me, swinging a shovel around, trying to kill some zombies. But I feel like it's a pretty good weapon. It doesn't run out, like it doesn't get less efficient, right? It's long enough that you can like hit them from a distance and not have to be too close to them. And then also it requires 0 skills. Like you have to learn how to shoot an arrow, like a bow and arrow. You should probably learn how to use a gun if you're going to use it. But a shovel is quite easy. You just go in swinging. So I think my weapon of choice here is going to be a handy dandy shovel. Because why not? And then also you can use it to dig up some vegetables while you're at it. So 2 in 1. And if you're also in The Walking Dead, you're probably relocating a lot, so you don't want to have a bunch of things with you. So something that is multi-purpose is great. Everybody should have shovels. I think if that show had more shovels, it would have had less seasons because they would have just killed off all the zombies. Just a personal opinion. So second one, if you were paid to stay the night in a haunted house, would you, and how much would they have to give you? I think if I knew that I couldn't get physically like hurt or injured, then yeah, I could. And that's a lot because I'm very easily scared. But yeah, but if I can't speak. If the threat of physical harm was on the line, then no, I wouldn't. But if it was just, a scary night, then sure. Price-wise, let's make it $1 million. Why not? So, million's a good number, right? Could pay off my student loans, buy many, many coloring books, and a very nice storage for them. Ooh, also, I would buy a really big Dunkin' Donuts coffee. That's all I need in life to be happy. 3, what superstitions or urban legends do you believe? And I don't know if I believe very many, We do have some in Ukraine. For example, you're not supposed to whistle indoors. That's one of them. And I do always scold my boyfriend if he whistles indoors, so I do obey that one. There's also one that you're not supposed to take the trash out after sundown, which I'm fine with because taking out the trash is actually my least favorite chore to do. Trying to think other ones. So I'm not really big into superstitions as I'm like listing off all these superstitions, but I do believe in like reading dreams. So if I have an interesting dream, my mom and I will usually like discuss it and kind of like what do we think it means and all that stuff. And I honestly have to say that like usually they're pretty spot on. So yeah, so I'm more into like interpretation of dreams, I guess, than I am of too many superstitions. But I do also knock on wood 3 times. That's another one that I do follow. So I guess I shouldn't say that I don't follow superstitions because clearly I do. But yeah, most of them are like old school Ukrainian ones though. Question 4. Which horror movie did you never get over? I don't watch very many scary movies because I know that I'm easily scared. I also don't like blood and gore. So if I watch a scary movie, it's going to be more of like suspense, like a more suspenseful experience than it is like blood and organs flying everywhere. But I do remember when I was younger, I went to the movie theater with my friends, and I don't think like I knew what the movie was, or maybe I did, and I just was feeling super brave that day. I think the movie's called like Wrong Turn or something like that. And I think that's the name of the movie. I don't know. I think I was like 10 when I watched it. But it's like this group of friends and they end up taking the wrong turn and they end up in the woods. And there's cannibals that live in the woods. And it just got really gruesome really quickly. And I was too young. Even now, I would not watch it. And I am 26. Because to this day, I still remember like a couple scenes from that movie and I'm still distraught over that whole situation. I think they also like made a second part to that because I feel like they usually do. But yeah, that's definitely one that has unfortunately stuck around with me. Question 5. What is your favorite scary and or Halloween coloring book? So I don't actually own a single Halloween coloring book, like a dedicated Halloween book, because again, I'm easily scared. Halloween is not my favorite holiday of the year. You know, I'm not a big Halloween gal. I don't really like creepy, spooky things. So yeah, I don't own any. But I guess like if it had to be like my favorite autumn coloring book, I think currently it is Autumn Scenes by Teresa Goodridge. I got it in September, I think. And I've been really loving that book. It does have some like Halloween themed books in there, like there will be like signs say like trick or treat. There's pumpkins and stuff. So I guess you could count that one, and I do really like that book. I've done 2 pages so far, I think, but it's definitely not a dedicated Halloween book. It's just a really, really nice autumn book. If you don't have that one, I would highly recommend it. I'm in love. It's beautiful. So next one. What is the scariest book you've ever read? I am a big reader, but again, horror isn't my genre. I do read thrillers though, like mystery thrillers. I did also finish on Wednesday, so 2 days ago, today's Friday, I did also finish The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. I want to say Sherry Lee, by Shirley Jackson. But I wouldn't really say that book was very scary, so I was fine with that one. It was for my work book club that we read it. But earlier this year, I read a book called The Chain, which I think I would say was scarier than The Haunting of Hill House. And the book is all about this, like, gosh, I don't know how to describe it. It's like an organization of people, and what they do is they will like kidnap a family member. like your family member. And then the only way you can get them back is if you pay them a sum of money and you kidnap another person. And then it like gets passed on. So it's a chain. And that book was just like full of twists and turns. It was obviously suspenseful. There was also like people's lives on the line. And you also followed like the people that had to do the kidnappings because they wanted to get their family member back, and the only way they could do that is by kidnapping somebody else's family member. So it was a very like, it was definitely a thriller. And yeah, I really liked the book, and it was definitely scary. So I think that's probably the scariest book I've read recently, or at least this year. If you could be a scary monster, what one would you be? I don't know if I would make a really good scary monster. I apologize a lot, so I feel like I would like scare somebody and then spend the next hour apologizing to them. But I think if I had to be a quote unquote monster, I'd probably be Casper, the friendly ghost. That's definitely up my alley. Yeah, I don't want to scare people. That's not me. That's really, really not me. So I will stick to being Casper. And he's just lovely. Everybody loves Casper. What is the scariest place you have ever been? Again, I don't know if I've been to too many scary places because I definitely avoid them. Maybe like 10 years ago, 9 years ago, I don't remember. I went to a really, really good haunted house with my family. And it wasn't even a haunted house. It was like a haunted experience. It was out in the woods, and this artist made huge sculptures and designed the whole like maze and everything. And they had a bunch of employees that would like jump out and scare you and stuff. So I think that definitely was the scariest thing or scariest place I've been. But yeah, I definitely avoid scary places on purpose, because probably like a little bunny would jump out and I'd probably like pass out. So definitely that haunted house or haunted maze, I guess. Question 9. Are you scared of the dark? And if so, what scares you most about it? I mean, I don't sleep with like a nightlight on or anything. I do sleep in the dark. But yeah, I guess it's not really the dark that scares me, but it's the fact that you like can't see what's there. So it's the unknown. But yeah, like if I get up in the middle of the night to like get a glass of water or like go to the bathroom or something, I don't turn on the lights. I'm fine with the dark. But if something were to like make a noise in the dark, that would be a completely different topic. I would probably like completely lose my marbles. I think I'm gonna pull in another Prisma. It's just the black one. I just want to add a little bit of shading on the rose. What's next? 10. Do you go to the toilet with the lights on or on after a scary movie? And if you have a closet, would you need to have the door fully closed to sleep? So again, I don't watch scary movies, but if somehow I did, I would definitely turn the lights on. Yes. And I mean, I definitely have closets in my apartment, and I don't really care about the doors. Like if they're open or closed, that has never bothered me. Something I am always like cautious of though, or keep an eye on, is my drapes. Like I'm like weirdly paranoid that somebody would be like watching me sleep or something. So I always double check that my drapes are closed. But when it comes to like the closet or like leaving the door to other rooms open or something like that, I'm not really bothered by that. Next question is, do you prefer to watch scary movies with others or alone? There's absolutely no way that I'm going to watch a scary movie alone, because A, I'm not drawn to them, and B, again, too much of a scaredy cat. So no, there's no way I'm watching scary movies on my own. I'm all set. No thank you. I will watch Friends for a millionth time, Big Bang Theory, something like that, or coloring YouTube videos. But yeah, scary movies, nah. I am good. Also, I feel bad, like there's a really bad glare on these pencils, but it's just because they're like so buttery, they like leave marks. But I am liking how this rose is turning out. Next one, question 12. Do you want to be a vampire, zombie, or werewolf, and why? Well, first of all, none of those, but I guess I'll choose. I definitely don't want to be a werewolf because I feel like that change seems quite painful. Also, if I, watch Harry Potter enough times or other movies, you don't really like have control over your actions after you change. So I definitely don't want to do that because I still would like to be in control of what I'm doing and what's happening. So definitely not a werewolf. And then I would also say no to the zombie because again, you like don't have control over what you're doing. You're just walking around, trying to find somebody to eat, and then somebody comes in with a shovel and smacks you upside the head. So I think I'm also going to say no to the zombie. So I guess that leaves the vampire, which to me definitely seems like the best option because you still have control over like your actions and you don't have to kill anybody, right? You can just sippy sip and then let them go. Yeah. I don't know, I think vampire. But obviously, if I didn't have to be, I wouldn't be. Unless I can be Casper the Friendly Ghost. Next one. Would you participate in a zombie run, which is a city event that is like a haunted fun run? If so, would you be a zombie or runner? No way. First of all, hate running, like with a burning passion. When it comes to cardio, I would rather do absolutely anything but run. Despise running. So that's the first reason why I definitely would not. And second reason, it just sounds scary. So no. I would support somebody who wants to do that by staying home. But no, there's no way I would ever do something like that. No, thank you. All right, next one. Do you prefer gory, creepy, or cute and spooky? I think I've answered that. Cute and spooky, preferably not even spooky. But gory, creepy, nope. Not for me. Next one. What scares you most about being home alone? I think like my worst fear would be like somebody breaking in because I know, like I realize the fact that I'm not exactly a very strong individual. Like I have zero upper body strength. I also would probably just like give them everything. So that's definitely my worst fear about like being home alone. But, so far so good. Knock on wood if we're going to bring in the other question about rituals and stuff. But that's definitely my worst fear is being like home when somebody breaks in. Also to me, like invasion of privacy, something that would like linger for a while. So it would also be something that it would take me forever to get over. All right, Rose is done. I am liking it. Looking good. All right, next one. Would you rather walk through a cornfield or a forest in the dark? See, my first thought wasn't like, oh, there might be like demons or whatever in there. My first thought is like wild animals. So when I lived in New Hampshire, we lived out in the woods. So I know there's bears, coyotes, skunks. Nobody wants to be skunked. And like other animals. So to me, that would be the big concern because with my luck, I would like run into a mama bear with a bunch of cubs. Like that would happen to me. So I don't know. But then also in a cornfield, which I'll be honest, not very familiar with cornfields, wouldn't there be like snakes and stuff? Right? Also not a big fan of snakes. So I guess if I had to pick one, I would pick the cornfield just because I don't want to be eaten by a bear. or like stepped on by a confused moose. So I'll pick Cornfield and just frankly haul ass. As I'm like, oh, I hate running, but you know, if I was in a cornfield at night, I'd run. I would make an exception. Would definitely make an exception for that one. And 17, if you could make a magic potion, what would it do and what ingredients would it take to make it? Magic potion. I don't know. I think it would be cool to fly. Actually, no. If I could teleport, if I could make a magic potion to help me teleport, that would be pretty cool. I don't know what kind of ingredients. A bird's feather, maybe, because that sounds cool. And tequila. Because, you know, if you ever wanted to transport yourself to a different state of mind, that always helps. So we'll go with that. I don't know how efficient my potion making skills are, but never said I was a professional witch by any means. Next one. What is your favorite Halloween costume of all time? And why? So I haven't really had too many Halloween costumes. I think my favorite one is the one I had. Well, I didn't do anything last year for Halloween, but for the 2 years before that, I was Winnie the Pooh. And I loved that costume. It was really fun. It was something that I like went and picked out the pieces on my own. It wasn't like a prepackaged costume. It's not exactly hard to find the outfit to be Winnie the Pooh. And it's also like my sense of humor. So definitely being Winnie the Pooh was my favorite. And then the last question is, who would you rather have as a friend? Michael Myers, Pennywise, Alien, Predator, or Freddy Krueger, and why? I'll be honest, I haven't seen most of those movies. I have seen Alien. It's actually something my boyfriend and I are going through right now. We are watching all the movies start to finish. We just watched the third one a couple days ago. So definitely would not want to be friends with Alien because that thing is disgusting. Also would not be friends with Predator. Let's just pick Freddy Krueger. Why not? I don't actually know anything about Freddy Krueger, but Pennywise is a clown, right? So definitely don't want that. Don't know who Michael Myers is. I'm sorry. So we're just going to go with Freddy Krueger. I like the name Freddy, so we'll bond over that. But yeah, that's actually it. So it was 19 questions. And it was interesting. I was actually kind of nervous to do this tag when I got tagged because I'm not a Halloween kind of gal. So I was really nervous that I wouldn't have answers for most of these questions. But I'm glad that a lot of them had the flexibility to, like, you know, say that you're not a Halloween person without having to be like, what's your favorite scary movie? What's your favorite scary, like, director, or not scary director of scary films. So yeah, thanks so much to everybody for watching. I am enjoying how this picture is turning out. I obviously have to do more shading. Also, the glare is kind of horrible. But yeah, it's going quite well. It's my first ever picture in a Coloring Heaven book. It's also my first ever Fabiana Tanasio page. So I'm just working through it, but so far so good. Thumbs up from me. But yes, thank you so much to everybody for watching, and I'll see everybody in the next one. Bye.